Welcome to JavaScript Fall of 2016. It's been a few years since I have created the JavaScript course, so I'm going through and updating for the most current version of JavaScript and to include jQuery and introduce AngularJS. It's going to be a very intense course. We're going to cover a lot of material. I'm going to introduce to the tools that you'll use for the course. Now when you're in Canvas, you're going to go through the modules section. As you can see, I'm recording this at the start of rebuilding the course. My goal is to be several weeks ahead of you guys, but I will probably not finish the entire course until sometime in October because I am rewriting every piece of material in the course. We will not be using a textbook for this course. Using the W3 Schools JavaScript tutorial. We'll go through the entire JavaScript tutorial in order. We'll also cover objects, functions, the DOM, and the BOM. We really want to get heavily into JavaScript. And then we'll also look at jQuery and Angular. So this will be your textbook. When you're working with this, it's important to go into the try it yourself areas and start playing with things. So here we could display the date and time, or we could display some actual text. The date function is an actual embedded JavaScript function, but we could just put in text and have that display. You'll also notice endless references to Doctor Who because I love Doctor Who. So that's what our textbook will be. Why do I use this instead of a textbook? I think that the interactivity is really helpful because you can actually test the code. And you're welcome to copy and paste from this site and make modifications. We're really using this as our pattern to get started. The other thing is, it's a great resource. It doesn't cost you anything. And if the standards change, the website changes within a week or two. So this is always up to date, and you don't have to pay anything for it. So this is your textbook for the class. I'm also using a framework. If you've taken Web 115, you know what a framework is. If you haven't, a framework is a set of styles that help you to build a web page faster. And the framework that I'm using is w3.css. So in my code, anytime you see me call a style that starts with W3 hyphen, it's because I'm getting it from this framework. You're welcome to use this framework too. I prefer that you do not use a framework that includes any kind of JavaScript. So you can use this, you can skip frameworks completely, or if you want and you're more familiar because you've taken the class before for Web 115, you can get Skeleton, which is another CSS-only framework that does not include any JavaScript. So you may use frameworks, but I don't want them to be frameworks that use JavaScript for this class. I don't want to have to debug things that might clash. Frameworks okay, outside JavaScript not okay. All of your JavaScript from this class should be something that you create originally. Starting about week 2, I'm going to go over how to use GitHub. You may have already used it in the past. The key is, for this class, your project is not the whole class folder. Each folder, each project you do will be its own project on GitHub, and you'll have a specific assignment in that. If you have not created a GitHub account, please do so. Emmet, this is just a tool if you see me doing any coding that helps me code HTML faster. It's basically a shortcut coding system for HTML. It's embedded into WebStorm. You can also get it for brackets. If you haven't used it, watch the demo, play with it. If you see me typing code and then hitting tab and having all my code expand, this is what I'm using. If you look at my GitHub account, you'll see that I'm doing all of my style sheets using CSS through Sass. Again, this is covered in Web 115. You'll also see the plain CSS sheets. Just in case you notice the Sass sheets out there, this is what I'm using. You can go look it up on your own. You can learn it from lynda.com. You can take Web 115 and learn it from me. I'm not covering it in JavaScript, but I am using it. You may see it out there. The development that I'm using is WebStorm. And if you go into buy and discounted and complimentary licenses, you can get a student license completely for free. It's a really good software tool with lots of excellent help for debugging, and it's really good for developing JavaScript. So I do recommend this. You should get the free copy. So those are the tools that I'm using in class. After this, my videos will be specific to projects. I'm going to be doing projects that reference back to the JavaScript tutorial. Figure each project that we do will cover 2 to 3 pages of this tutorial. The first assignment we do will cover home and introduction. And so each additional assignment that you do will cover 2 to 3 pages of information from the JavaScript tutorial. So your learning resources will be the W3 schools, my videos, and then if you'd like some additional supplemental information, Code Academy has got some great JavaScript tutorials. I don't assign them, but I do recommend them. I think you can do some great JavaScript at Khan Academy as well, and lynda.com has some excellent JavaScript tutorials. I won't give you all of that extra information because I consider it for some people to be confusing. If you're already a good programmer, you probably don't need it. But if I were to pick one external resource, I do like Code Academy. It helps you to really get the syntax down. So I would create an account here and I would play with Code Academy for JavaScript. That would be the one external practice tool that I fully endorse, though Khan Academy and lynda.com both have some great resources. And always don't hesitate to contact me. I will have student tutoring hours, and if you get stuck and send me your code, typically what I will do is I will record a video on how to solve your code and send it back to you. Welcome to class.